And I want to welcome all of you tonight to our 2013 Popcorn Kickoff. And I just want to let you guys all know that I've been where you guys have been at one time or another. I became a district colonel about 3 years ago, and then this is my first year for the council colonel. So, I welcome all of you.
Teresa Barnett is the mother of 3 sons, all involved in scouting. She became involved in the popcorn sale by becoming a unit colonel, and then became the district colonel for the Ozark Trails Council in Springfield, Missouri. Over the 4 years Teresa has been involved, the council's gross popcorn sales have increased by 42% to $1,272,376. The average per unit sales increased by 50.7%. And more importantly, she has distinguished herself through her passion for helping scouts and scouting.
Your typical popcorn time takes place over four weeks. And so what I ask of my unit colonels and of my parents is if you're willing to give 110% over the next 4 weeks, then your scout and our pack or our troop is going to benefit tremendously. And so if we put forth this effort, then what's going to happen is we're going to be able to just enjoy our scouting process, our scouting events, our scouting activities throughout the rest of the year. 4 weeks out of the whole year. We can do anything for a short amount of time. When it comes to a leader's point of view, obviously the leaders need the money to keep the program going. If the program is solid, then you're doing a lot of activities, and activities cost money, and so that's usually the vehicle. But if the leaders go at popcorn as though it's just a fundraiser, then the parents flip that switch in their head, and it's just a fundraiser. And so one of the key things that leaders can do when they're talking to their parents is to address the qualities and the character traits that we're trying to build. If we're trying to talk about communication, possibly with our Cub Scouts, there's a communication belt loop. There's a computers belt loop. And so there's with the internet sales that you have with Trails In, you can actually tie in the computer belt loop, and you can also tie in the communications belt loop very easily. There are speech opportunities in the Weeblo's book. There is for the communications Weeblo pen, you have to give a speech, a 5-minute speech. And so one of the things that they can do during popcorn is the kid not only does a 5-minute speech, but he's on his feet for 2 hours selling popcorn. And so that's what I think unit leaders need to understand, is that popcorn can be a vehicle to earn different awards, earn different belt loops. What troops are able to do then, and at that point too, with the popcorn, is they're able to start maybe branching out and doing some salesman merit badge, some entrepreneur merit badge. I believe the American Business Merit Badge, if that's the correct name of it, you have to work a business for 6 months, and Trails In has the online program. And so that scout could actually start working the online and pretty much get close to 6 months of popcorn sales that can count for that American Business Merit Badge. And so then you're taking your fundraiser and actually turning it into a practical life application. And that's what we really want to do with popcorn. If unit leaders could begin to coach these kids early on to start setting those goals and to start understanding the benefits of setting goals and what it feels like to be successful, then those kids gain that confidence more and more and more to the point that when they are Boy Scouts, the goal setting is a second nature, so that when it comes to then finally they're going for their Eagle and trying to plan out their Eagle project and then going forward with their Eagle project, it's second nature. I told them that I really wanted them to try to do individual goals at $650. And the reason for that is that when a child and a family, when they sell $650, they're able to help pay for summer camp. They're able to see different things paid for within the scouting program. They're able to get a higher prize bracket, so to speak. And so, but to go at the $650 is overwhelming. And oftentimes parents look at that and go, there is no way on earth I'm ever going to be able to sell $650 because they think they're going to have to be doing it, and they don't understand that it's going to be the kids that are going to be doing it. And so what we started to do is we actually broke it down, the $650, so that at the $100 level, that's going to your neighborhood, door to door. At the second level is the $200 level. And at this level, that is where they are going to their family and friends. And that's pretty easy. That's pretty attainable. The third level is at the $350. And that's 2 booth times. I try to have my kids sell at booths just because of the communications and the speech that it allows them, as well as it gets them, it's more visible in the community. So they have to do 2 booth times, and on average they can sell about $175 every 2 hours. That's an average. So sometimes a little bit less, sometimes it's more. And so with those 2 different booth times put together, that's $350, and that adds up to the $650. Now, how you get the kids totally on board is each week as a unit leader, you want to encourage these kids. You want to have inner den competitions. You want to have inner patrol competitions. You want to try to build the momentum so that the drive to sell popcorn, it just drives itself. And then that way you've got that natural competitive boy thing going on, which is really important. And that in and of itself drives the kids to do better and better. The other thing is that 70% comes back to local scouts. There's not a fundraiser that can really trumpet that.
Please feel free to help yourself throughout the time and the prizes. Play with them all you want. We have new exciting flavors this year for the popcorn. We had a popcorn summit a few months back, and got to choose some of the popcorn flavors that we get to have. And one of them is the sour cream and onion that will be in the tin with the Boy Scout logo. So if you want to look at it, pass it around. Another one of them is the bacon ranch, dark white chocolate drizzle, the kettle corn pre-popped, and the buffalo cheddar cheese. Some of the simple steps for growing your sales are doing a budget to kind of sit down and figure out what each one of your boys are going to be doing for the year. See how much it's going to cost for each one of those boys, and then to total it up and kind of average it out to be able to that how you set your goals.
My name is Eric Torrey, by the way. I'm the staff advisor for Popcorn. The military donation has always been a popular sale, I guess, if you will. It's been a program that's been around since 2007. So far, they've had 1.3 million donations since 2007 towards this program. Again, this year, there's a $30 and $50 level. Now, we know some families, you might go and say, hey, I'd love to support it, but I can't do $30. Can I do $10? Absolutely. You know, you just take a boy, if he gets 3 $10, you just add them up, and then it becomes one $30. We don't want to certainly turn a customer away because they can't, but again, there is a $30 silver and a $50 level military donation. 100% of the military donation is tax deductible because it's a special program, not affiliated, but actually it's a part of Trails End. but it's through a program called Operation Popcorn. It's a not-for-profit 501c3, and because of that, and the customer is not receiving any anything for their gift. It is 100% tax deductible. In your packet, and we'll talk about these more later, but you do have some receipts you can give to the customer. The new products, as Lori talked about, all the products are listed here. They're the same things that are in the family sales guide. So you can see, again, Nebraska Husker tin, sweet and savory, the dark white chocolate drizzle, bacon ranch, sour cream and onion, buffalo cheddar, new products. So we do have a few more products this year than we have had in the past. So you may notice if you go online to Trails End website, there's other products that are available, but when the volunteers got together and did the popcorn summit, this is what they felt like was going to be a good product mix. So there are a couple other flavors out there that they can buy online. I think jalapeno cheddar, and there's one other I forget. But this is what the volunteers felt like was going to be the best seller in our council. So this is what they decided to go with. So everything is there. And by the way, if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to ask, and we may postpone the question until later. But just again, feel free to ask questions. And by the way, we didn't get a chance. We'll introduce Tim Bolton. Tim, you want to stand up and wave to everybody? Everybody say hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Tim is the popcorn colonel for the Pawnee District. And Lori is not only the council popcorn colonel, she's also the popcorn colonel for the Express District. So, this is the what is, I guess, a printing of the family sales guide you have in the package. You can see everything is laid out there. Some key things to notice. It's got the price of the product. It tells you how much goes back to scouting. Tells you how if they want to know how many ounces of a particular product is in there. And particularly in the collections, it tells them what is in the collection. So there is some information there. Trails End is kind of your one-stop shop for information. So you go to trails-end.com for a lot of popcorn information. Information on online selling, the popcorn system, which we'll talk about later, a virtual sales planner, and then of course some training videos and tutorials. So please check it out. They've totally revamped their site, so there's a lot of great information. Talking about growing your sale, it is important. How many of you want your sale to grow this year? Raise your hands. Be honest. How many of you want to grow your sale? Okay. How many of you don't want your sale to grow this year? Okay, good. That's good. Okay, so one of the things that I have learned as I've taken as a philosophy, you can't expect different results if you don't change what you do. So if you keep doing the same things the same way and expect different results, it's the definition of insanity. So if you're not growing your sale, then try something different. Try what Trails End recommends. I think what they say works in most cases. So again, plan your program, set your goal. It's important to, we'll talk about goals later, motivate with incentives. Again, build a really good popcorn kickoff. Have something, and again, what a pack might do should be different than what a troop does. Consistently communicate with parents. When I talk to units, that's whether it's popcorn or anything, number one issue that every unit says is communication. You can't communicate enough with your parents. And so we're going to talk more about how we do that. And then certainly use the best ways to achieve your sales goals. So I'm going to turn back up to Lori.
First of all, you want to plan your program by, as we said, sitting down, doing your plan for the year, setting budgets, setting goals for your scouts, so that they, and ask the boys what they would like to do, as to what they would like to do for the year, maybe help realize, that they want to go camping once a month, that this is going to cost $15. I mean, I don't know it's $15, but and then just take it every time you guys go camping, so that they kind of know, so that they can see that they need to sell the popcorn. To be able to plan your program, you need to have a successful unit, have it fun and exciting. Planning your program is by holding brainstorming sessions of different things with your committees to sit down and build the program, build your calendars. Plan your program ideally for your scouts. you planning your program and develop your ideas, but with your scouts, you will retain your youth, send more scouts to different camps, and train your leaders and have parents support. Spend less time on fundraising and have more fun having fun. Enjoy the full year of scouting. Complete your program by the program planner, and I think there's one in each one of your packets to help out.
So it's important to set your sales goal. Trails End does studies every year. Trails End has been doing popcorn. When I was a scout, I started in scouting in 1987, I think, and I'm pretty sure, if not then, shortly thereafter, I remember selling popcorn. But 44% nationally of scouts actually set, parents say they set a goal. Scouts who set a goal average $626 in sales versus scouts who have no average. That's just like anything. I just got done not too long ago with a fundraiser for my high school. They were running a capital campaign, and they had a goal. Otherwise, how do we know if we're there, if we're successful? Is $10,000 on a capital campaign successful? Is it $1 million, $5 million? So it is important to set a goal. Plus, it gives you something to strive for. Okay, my personal goal is X, Y, Z. Okay, am I there? Am I getting there? Think about athletes. When if any of your kids participate in sports, you might have somebody that says, I want to run a 10-minute mile this year. Okay. Well, somebody else might say, you know what? I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to run an 8-minute mile. Whatever it is. But if we don't have a goal, we'll never have something to strive for. So it is important to set those goals. Motivate your scouts. There's a lot of different ideas up here, and Tim is going to do us a favor. He's going to write up here some other ideas that you guys shout them out. And Lori's got some prizes she's going to toss out to you. They're in that box there. So come up with some unit level incentives. Okay, great. Trails End's got some prizes. The council's got some prizes. But come up with your own prizes, and they've got some great ideas. A pie in the face. Does anybody do a pie in the face? Yeah, a few of you. Okay. Top seller prizes. Top selling den, patrols, a bowling outing, maybe, pocket knives, camping backpacks, sleeping bags. Prizes maybe for for boys who surpass their goal. What other ideas do you have? What do you guys do for unit level incentives? Yes.
We have a prize box that after they reach their goals, they go pick out the prize box.
Okay, so prize box. Cool. What else? Yeah, Marty.
And one or camp out. So if they reach everyone reaches a certain level, not $400. So take the smoke out.
Okay, so cooking supper for the boys if they reach their goal.
Pizza, movie, and fun night.
Pizza, movie, and fun night. Great idea. What else? What else do you do to motivate and keep boys excited? Yeah.
We gave out a bicycle for that. So,
Cool. Bicycle away to the kid that sold the most popcorn. Great idea. What else? Yeah.
We put the top 2 sellers of each den spray their new pizza.
Cool. Absolutely. Who do you want to do that? The last one we had, actually no, it was one in North Platte. Somebody said they go back to the pie in the face. They give the boys the option of who they wanted to pie in the face, whether it was a parent, whether it was a leader, So, what wouldn't want to throw a parent in their pie's face? Particularly those boys that are in like junior high, early high school, that just, mom and dad, this is a chance to get back at them in a fun way. Other ideas. I was just at a PAX meeting the other night, and I don't think I've heard of youths doing this for a long time, but they're going to set up mystery houses. They're going to go out and they're going to buy $2 gift certificates for various businesses, and they're going to scatter them all over the community to different people and say, the first scout that comes to your house, give them this. And all they have to do is go to the house. They have to hit the house. So what a great motivator. Get boys out, get them out early. Other ideas. What else do you guys do to motivate? Or what do you think would be a cool idea to motivate? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah.
We have a $500 they get a certificate for incompetent
Oh, great, great. So they reach a level and they get a pop of popcorn. Here. Any other ideas? You know, going along with the guys dressing up idea, kind of maybe a kiss the babe. You know, if a boy reaches a goal, the leader's gonna kiss the babe. No, just yeah. Absolutely, great idea. Shaving. I would love to see art with a shaved head. So, great idea.
I have a picture of that.
Other ideas? Yeah.
Dye the leader's hair a color.
Okay, so dye their hair a certain color. Okay, that's cool. Maybe get your principals of your local schools involved. You know, what boy wouldn't want to do something? You know, maybe like I said, pie in the face, dye the hair. You know, get them excited. So, any other ideas? Okay, cool. So there's definitely some great ideas. Thank you, Tim. So this is the prizes this year. You have this in your family sales guide, and I should back up just 1 second. As we're going through, you're going to see us talking about some various online resources. For those of you that have a laptop, a smartphone, or a tablet, you can get on the Wi-Fi here. It's quality in, and the password is exit312south, all lowercase. You can get on, and you can see some of these things. But anyway, you've got the prizes in your family sales guide. Every family sales guide contains a prize form. We're going with a new company this year called High Adventure Gear. Trails End has totally gotten out of the prize business. Trails End does popcorn well. They don't do prizes very well. So Trails End's got totally out of the prize business. High Adventure Gear is the company that we decided to partner with. And you'll notice on your it's probably easier to see in the family sales guide. There's lots of cool prizes. There's definitely some great prizes at the higher levels. One that's not on here, I don't even know if it's in your sales guide, but if you sell $30,000, you will get a Segway. Not a branded Segway, but essentially a Segway. That's a $3,000 prize. It costs us this counts $3,000. I would love to give away a Segway this year. So, it's in there? Okay. So various prizes, HDTVs, night vision glasses, binoculars, tablets, a lot of great higher end type prizes for the boys. Again, you can see all the prizes, some of the prizes that we have over here. Obviously, I don't have a Segway. That's in my house. I'm playing with it, so I didn't really want to bring it. No, I'm just kidding. But there are a lot of the prizes over there, particularly like the Boy Scouts. Check out the backpack, the camo pack, things like that. They're very nice. Nothing is branded, so you're not going to see Legos on the Lego blocks. But they are made by a subsidiary of Legos. So just take a look at those. Check out the prizes. There's some bonus prizes. If you sell one item, you get a special patch, which the patch is over there. You can take a look at. A dart blaster, and then a gift card if you get the $600 and the $1,500 level. Each district has a prize kit, and they will take those to various roundtables and events over the course of September and October. So please take a look at them. Have your boys look at them, because for some boys, it's the motivating factor is the prize that they get. So take those and have them look at them. And again, everyone will have a family sales guide. A few bonus prizes the council's working on. Number one is the Nebraska Danger Experience. We're going to do again this year. We want to do some evaluating with that. We've gotten some mixed feedback from people as to whether or not that is an incentive or not. So we're going to take a look and evaluate some of those things. The Nebraska Husker Experience. We know the date, and I'm going to look to Tracy or Heather. Do you guys remember the date they said?
December 21st.
December 21st. Okay, so the Nebraska Husker Experience will be December 21st. It will be a basketball game. That's all we know at this point. So as we get more information, we'll definitely get it out to you. But that is what we know. And then a guaranteed college scholarship. One of the things that let me grab that packet that's there. One of the things that I found interesting that I thought about is, well, how many of you are brand new colonels this year? Raise your hands. Okay. You probably have no idea what boys in your unit have sold popcorn to a level to where they can get the college scholarship for. So one of the things that we're passing around is a list of every boy in the council that is currently, they may or may not be involved in the program, but they have all qualified for that college scholarship at one point or another. I just talked to a dad in my district. His son is 22 years old. This is his son's last semester in school, and he didn't realize his son had $1,300 in a guaranteed college scholarship for it. So I said, here's the paperwork, we'll fill it out, send it to your school, and they'll take $1,300 off of his tuition. So So what we're going to do is we're going to put this information online so you can take a look at it. But what we need is, unfortunately, Trails Inn cannot provide me. It's not because they don't want to, it's because they don't have it. Unit information, unit name and number, unit type and number. So as that sheet's coming around, take a look at it. It's sorted by community. So if you know a kid on that is, again, whether or not they're involved in scouting or not, if you know they're from your unit or we're from your unit, please indicate that. We're going to publish that online, and we're going to start tracking that from year to year as a council. So that, again, you know that if a kid 6 years ago sold it, he needs to still send this stuff in, and we'll talk about how that works a little bit later. Lori.
So to build your popcorn kickoff, I would like to see each and every one of us to have a good kickoff. Spend 30 minutes on the kickoff. It is important to have your troops and your crews levels to have them. To have something fun, corny, and have your folks give ideas back to the pack and the troops, so that your crew levels then will have done their plan to do their kickoff and write them on the board. To build the best popcorn kickoff.
Actually, Lori, back up, I'm sorry. Do you guys have any ideas of specific things that you do in kickoff? You can run that directly on the board. What ideas do you guys have? What things do you do? Let's start with PAPs, and then we'll go to troops, and then I think we'll go to police here. Start with PAPs. What do you do at your kickoff to make it fun and exciting? Yeah.
We make sure that the boys get to play with whatever the $600 prize is.
Okay. The boys play with the $600 prize. Okay. What else do you do? Nothing. Nobody does anything else. Yeah.
We do a cheering section. When the Husker experience first started coming out, I went all dressed in Husker gear, and I had a bunch of pom-poms, and so I got the kids to do the Go Big Red and Husker power, and they're really excited about that. And then I said, okay, every time I say this word, I want you to yell popcorn.
Okay, so cheers. Okay, what else? What else do you guys do to make your popcorn? Or what do you do at your popcorn kickoffs? Here's your sheet, go sell. Hopefully not.
Teach them how to sell.
Teach them how to sell? Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that definitely in depth a little later. What else do you do? Oh, good. Sat down with each boy and had them set a goal. That would be a good thing to do. Have each boy set some sort of goal. You may have a minimum goal, you know, hey, we want every boy to sell $400, but you know what? You may have some other boy, you may want the boys to set their own goal. Okay? What else? What else do you do if you're taking up popcorn kickoffs?
Bowling alley party, bowling alley first, hot dogs and pop.
Okay, so maybe do it at a bowling alley, have some hot dogs and pop. That's a great idea. Okay. What else? We've got a pack in my district that's not here. They do theirs as a kind of a blitz. They basically they start at I think 6 o'clock. They have some hot dogs. They do their little kickoff. They send the boys out for an hour. They come back, and the boy that sells the most gets a prize. You know, so they make it fun, and then they come back and see how everybody's done. So that's kind of a popcorn blitz, I guess. Other ideas? Okay, well, if you don't have ideas, then we're going to definitely give you some ideas. Now let's talk about troops. Okay, oftentimes in these popcorn orientations, I notice that we focus a lot on acts, but you know what? Boy Scouts need a good kickoff too. It doesn't mean you have to be corny and cheesy and all that kind of stuff, but it is important to do something to get them excited. You know, what 14, 15-year-old boy wouldn't want to get excited? By the way, fundraising, I found out, is an 11-letter dirty word. So, you know, most Boy Scouts don't like to fundraise anyways. But if we can make it fun and make it exciting, so what types of things do you do at the Boy Scout kickoffs? Yeah, all right.
We're planning a new trip, so
Okay, so they're going to talk about a big trip they're going to do, and some other boys are going to come in and talk about it, so motivate them with the big activities. Okay, what else do you do? Okay, so great. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you some ideas of what to do. Again, just say, here, go sell isn't enough. And it doesn't matter whether it's scouting or anything. Again, when I went to fundraise for my high school, I didn't show up and they give me a packet to say, here you go out and fundraise and come back in a week. No, they talked to us about the importance of it. They motivated us and got us excited. So we'll definitely give you some more ideas. Go ahead and continue, Lori. Sorry.
So make it fun, festive. Have your prizes to give away to your scouts. Set goals if they sell $400 or $600, set goals for them to go out and sell, and give them prizes. Have role plays, practice sales scripts, help your scouts gain the confidence to sell. Are there any units that want to share some testimonies on how they're successful? Their units are successful.
Yeah, but, well, this is actually my wife's doing, but both our boys sold for $25 to $200 a piece. And they do it. We don't do it. They do it. They go door to door, and I mean we're there because they're 9 and 7, but it, like she was saying, 110% for 4 weeks. That's what I told our group too. Was it's a part-time job for 4 weeks that lasts the rest of the year. Yeah.
But you can also hurt yourself with, like, we tell our boys, this is your goal, each boys, you can sample X dollars. You can hurt yourself with that goal. Because my oldest one, he came home from the popcorn night, the first night. He's like, well, I only have to sell this much. And so I said, why don't we sit down and look at what the prices are in the store and I'd like to. And then he was reading it, and he said, I want to hit the goal scholarship. I didn't realize I was there. And so instead of, saying this is all you have to do, this is the minimum we'd like you to do, but then have somebody help them set their goal, have them look at the prizes and go over and beyond what the minimum is. And when people tell you how hard it is to get to the $2,500 for a scholarship, when my oldest got his, we spent roughly 20 to 22 hours selling and delivering. So it's not that tough.
Other testimonials on success, why you're a success. Okay. Oh yeah, good.
We're with a troop, and we don't take the prizes. We take the money instead, and then we tell the scouts that money will be the 35% or 28% or whatever we end up getting. We tell the scout that'll be put in their point fund, and then throughout the year, if they need to buy camping stuff or whatever, they can use that money. Otherwise, if they don't utilize that money, when they become Eagle, they can use that money for anything they want. If they want to go out and buy a pickup, or if they want to go buy tires for the car, or buy a rifle or something, they can use it for whatever they want when they become Eagle.
Other ideas. Yeah, good.
So we had people, my son was right around there, but we already got the whole license. Okay, we put the difference at all the grandmother and out. We let them get the $600 prize, and after that, we don't show them the prize sheet, we don't want them to see like time.
Sure.
So, that was my experience last year.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you definitely want to give them something, minimum goal. Otherwise, they don't know what they can sell. But don't limit them. I mean, if they want to go and sell $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, that's great. Some of you probably would be surprised. Our top seller in our district is actually a Boy Scout. He's 14 years old. He's sold almost $8,000 worth of cotton. And you think, oh, that must be in a big community. I'm in Nebraska. So he did it because his parents aren't out there pushing him to do it. If he chooses to do it, that's fine. But they're there to support him. If the dad goes with him and says, hey, keep going, you're doing a good job. So, to say the Boy Scouts, I often hear, oh, our Boy Scouts are just not keeping cuddly anymore. To me, your Boy Scouts, are better salesmen. They're at the age where they can go out and they should be able to sell things like that. Talk a little bit.
So to help your Boy Scouts to be able to go out and sell, there's a little saying here. For them to maybe practice as a troop, for you to, says, hi, my name is Lori and I'm a Cub Scout with Pack 125. I'm selling popcorn, so can I, so that I can go on a camping trip with my troop. I have a goal of $800. Can you help me reach my goal by trying some of my popcorn? Will you help me? Instead of saying, would you like to buy some popcorn? Have eye contact with them. I think is more important than just to have your head down. So practice with your boys.
And get some other adults to practice. I mean, I have a 3-year-old, and 5-year-old nephew. As long as they're with family, they're fine. They seem like they never stop talking. But the moment they get around somebody they don't know, it's like they shut down. They don't talk. So it is important to not only have them practice at home, but also practice around some other adults. We have one pack that they actually set up little stations, and they divide the boys up, and they have to go talk to 2 or 3 adults who aren't their parents or aren't their leaders. So that's a great way to get the boys used to talking to somebody that's a stranger. Plus, if mom and dad are there to, when they do sell, they say, okay, how did that go? What do we need to do differently? So it is important to practice the spiel. Particularly those first graders, second graders, they're both, they can't memorize all this very quickly, so it is important to practice it as much as you can. Okay, communicating with your families. This is an important part of the program, or part of any fundraising. Communication. You can't communicate, in my opinion, you can't communicate enough to people. So it's important to communicate sales goals, make sure parents understand. It's important that your kickoffs, that your parents are there. They need to understand the importance of it. Again, if all they ever think about it as I talked in the video as a fundraiser, then that's all it will ever be, is a fundraiser. It's more than that. So communicate about key sale dates. Make sure parents know, again, when to turn things in. I don't know how many units I've heard from them that say, crap, somebody just turned in their order, we've already sent an order in, what do we do? Well, communicate with your parents' key sale dates. If you don't get an order form in from that family, you should be on the phone with them and talking to them. Don't just assume they didn't sell anything. Again, communicate about sales rewards. I think it's really important, even Boy Scout troops, if you don't take the prizes, or I should say, if you're thinking of not taking prizes, at least let the boys look at them, because it's whatever's going to motivate them. If they're motivated by not taking prizes and getting that extra 3% to go on the trip, great. But if they're more motivated by the prizes, let them take the prizes. Again, it's whatever's going to get them excited about selling more. That's the key. Again, talking about online selling, we're going to talk about how that works a little bit later. And at trailsend.com, as well as on our council website, there's a lot of communication tools, promotional images, and just some ready-to-go handouts that you can share with your parents. We're going to talk a little bit about the take order. So you might grab one of these family sales guides here. Number one, it's important to really just establish those dates, kind of the beginning and ending dates. Determine your sales territory. For some units, you live in areas that, for example, I'm going to pick one of my packs in Ravenna. There is no program in Litchfield or Hazard, Litchfield, Mason City, Ansley, or Berwyn, which are all within probably 45 minutes of the community. So check around, find out what areas around you don't sell popcorn or don't have any program. One of the things that I'm working with the district popcorn kernels on is putting together a list and posting that online. So if you live in, let's just say you live in Wood River. Is anybody here from Wood River? Okay, we have no program in Gibbon, Nebraska. So head over there and sell popcorn. So if you don't know those types of things, you don't know to go sell them as community. So that's a great opportunity. Again, talks about blitz days. Go out, sell, come back, that kind of thing. That's a great idea. Parents can take the form to work. It just depends. This one is kind of one of those iffy things. Some employers will allow you to set something on a table in the workroom. Some employers will allow a boy to come in and sell, which to me is the ideal, to have that boy actually come in and sell it. But no matter what, it's important if your employer will allow you to take that form to work, or even just go into a business. Say, hey, my son is selling popcorn. If he stops by, can we talk to you about selling popcorn? So just keep that in mind. And again, 2 out of 3 people will ask, 2 out of 3 people will ask will buy, or less than 20% of households have been contacted. I can tell you my district popcorn kernel got contacted 1 time last year. How many times did you get contacted, Roy? Once? How many times did you get contacted? Several. Okay, Tim got several times. So, so it is important. There are people in every community that don't get asked, and there are several people that don't get asked several times. Most people will buy 4 or 5 times. I will tell you, I have yet to have enough scouts come to my house to refuse to start turning it away. So, Tim, what's your address? No, but seriously, and particularly those communities that are surrounding you that don't have any programs, go hit them 2, 3, 4 times. Because again, it is important to pick people up. This just talks a little bit about how to sell $600 quickly and easily. It's kind of a 3, 2, 1 step. Number 1, setting up an online account. The online account process, which we'll talk about a little later, is very easy to do, and all it takes is you sending some emails out, and it'll generate some popcorn, particularly for those people who live a ways away. Step 2 is talking to family and friends. Talk about people in the neighborhood, and then step 1 is going door to door. That is definitely going to be our bread and butter. Don't think that online sales is going to just be this great, awesome thing, and you don't have to do any work. It'll never take the place of your door-to-door sales, but it is another opportunity to outreach and to get a few more sales. Again, online sales helps to sell to families far and away. The only difference between online selling and what you have in your sheet is the shipping cost is added into the cost of the product. So you will see that prices are higher online. You still make the same commission if you sell it online versus if you sell it door to door. It's just they take care of shipping it directly to the consumer. You will visit the Trails End website in the upper right hand corner, which we'll show you a little bit later. There's a link to click to set up an account. You can start selling online. This is the only way you can sell before October 1. October 1 is the start date. We'll talk a little bit later. But this is the only way you can start selling now is online. And your sales count towards your commission and towards, you get commission all throughout the year. So you can sell popcorn all year long online. But to count towards Scout rewards and prizes, October 1 to November 1st, get 100% of your kids to set up an online account. And we're going to show you later how to check to see if every kid has set up an online account. Nationally, the online order average is $48. So you sell $48 in popcorn, that's maybe $15 that comes back to you. So $15 is $15.
Teresa Barnett is the mother of 3 sons, all involved in scouting. She became involved in the popcorn sale by becoming a unit colonel, and then became the district colonel for the Ozark Trails Council in Springfield, Missouri. Over the 4 years Teresa has been involved, the council's gross popcorn sales have increased by 42% to $1,272,376. The average per unit sales increased by 50.7%. And more importantly, she has distinguished herself through her passion for helping scouts and scouting.
I try to let the parents understand that goal setting is a skill. It's not an automatic thing, and it's something that has to be taught. It's important to understand that we are setting the foundation of that now, and if we don't want our kids growing up sitting on our couches eating pizza, playing video games all the time, we have to teach them how to set goals. The successful people in life have learned how to set goals. It's all about taking it and turning it into a business approach. So goal setting goes along with that, but it's not the only thing. There's communication, and there's speech, and there's listening skills. All of these are skills and not just automatic. What the children get out of selling popcorn and setting goals is a feeling of achievement and a feeling of success. What we have the ability to do in popcorn is to actually give them a real feeling of success and what that feels like and what that looks like. And when we do that early on with a kid, they build confidence, a sense of ownership when it comes to the popcorn or sales, and to their scouting, because when they sell lots of popcorn, they have the ability to be able to pay for their own scouting experience, and that's a wonderful gift to give to a kid. The other thing is that 70% comes back to local scouts. There's not a fundraiser that can really trumpet that. One of the things that we began doing in our own home with our own sales is that I told the boys that for every 20 no's, we would go to the store and get a dollar toy, whatever it was, one of those dollar value stores or whatever. And so we did that in the very beginning. And so what happened was that turned the no into a very positive thing. I'll never forget one man said no and slammed the door in the boy's face. And my boys turned around on that porch with big old smiles and they were like, yes! What's amazing is now that they're Boy Scouts and they're selling popcorn, they don't need a trinket for every 20 no's. They know it's going to come. And so when someone says, no, I don't want it, or I don't buy popcorn, I can't eat popcorn, whatever the excuse is, or they just say no in a very rude manner, the boys tend to say, thank you very much, have a nice day, with a pleasant smile and a wonderful demeanor, and they go right on to the next person. I was selling popcorn at a gas station with my son, Joseph. This gentleman pulled in, and he pumped some gas, and then he was walking into the store, and Joseph said, hi, would you like to buy some Boy Scout popcorn? The man very brusquely said no. And he said, by the way, I like your dog, because there was a cute little chihuahua in the car. And the man went on inside, paid for his gas, came out, said, so you like my dog? And Joe said, yeah, I really like it. And so they had this whole conversation about miniature dogs and how they, just couldn't live without them. But before the gentleman left, he had bought some popcorn from Joseph and went on. And that to me is really where the Boy Scouts actually have an opportunity to sell more popcorn than Cub Scouts, because they have that ability to be able to build relationships. If they've built those skills along the way, they have the ability to build a relationship really quickly with people that they've never met before. If the parent is not on board, the child is not going to be successful in popcorn, and that's vital. Standing up in front of an audience is terrifying for many, many children, and Boy Scouts and teenagers and adults. And so we need all the encouragement that we can get. Our kids need it even more. So that's where parents have got to be engaged. Help them to dream. What can they do with that gift card if that's the prize, or maybe it's an actual toy or something like that. Whatever it is, help them to dream. The second thing that I would advise parents to do is to be purposefully engaged in the popcorn season and encourage their kids the whole thing. All of us are tired after a day of work. All of us are worn out. During popcorn time, for our kids to be successful and to feel that success, we have to sacrifice ourselves and put them before us. Probably the final thing would be that coaching. Your kid is not going to get on the bicycle and ride the first time. They're going to fall off. And they don't need you jumping in there, taking over, and embarrassing them. What they need is for you to let them kind of flounder, figure it out, then pull them back over to the side after that person's gone and say, how did that go? What do you think would go better? Maybe next time try this if this is what they say. And for a parent to actually be, instead of playing on their cell phone, to be taking notes on maybe what they can practice later on when they get home, what they can work on. That way that kid can actually get on the bicycle and ride down the hill with confidence and not fall off. Your typical popcorn time takes place over four weeks. And so what I ask of my unit colonels and of my parents is, if you're willing to give 110% over the next 4 weeks, then your scout and our pack or our troop is going to benefit tremendously. And so if we put forth this effort, then what's going to happen is we're going to be able to just enjoy our scouting process, our scouting events, our scouting activities throughout the rest of the year. 4 weeks out of the whole year. We can do anything for a short amount of time.
Are these videos online?
Yes, they are. On the Trails End website, as well as on the council website. So we'll show you those ones a little bit later, but yes, they are available. And they're more. These are just two showing us.
So 6 steps to a successful sale is plan, set your goals, motivate your scouts, have a popcorn kickoff, and communicate with your parents and sell. Key dates to remember, September 30th is your unit budget calendars are due. You can send them into the council office. You can give them to Heather for the Pony Express or Eric for the covered wagon, or Susie or Tracy in Temple for Connie. And so you get them into us. You get 2% for turning in your budget and your calendar. No sales are to start before October 1st except for online sales. November 4th, your sales end, and all the orders have to be into the office on November 5th by noon. So it's you as popcorn kernels for you guys to be able to calculate all this. You may not want to wait until November 4th to have your orders turned in so that you don't. On November 22nd is the popcorn comes in on the truck, and is when you'll be able to pick it up at North Platte. I don't think there's anybody here from North Platte. Marnie?
It's in the packet. We'll talk about it later about where that's.
December 9th is your popcorn, to complete your popcorn delivery. And December 10th is popcorn money is due into the council office. If you do not have your money turned into the council office by that date, then starting February, you'll be penalized a percentage of your sales, or percentage. And so that'll be reducing your profits by not turning any. Each month as you go, the percentage will be more. What's it in for you? Your product samples over here on the table. Feel free to get them. We have a dart blaster for all of you to take home with you tonight to hopefully give to your first scout that sells 600 and your popcorn blitz. And then for those of you that came for, I think it's over 15 miles.
Yeah, on your table there's a sheet that says unit travel. One of the things that the volunteers on the planning committee came up with, I think it's a great idea, is just as kind of as a thank you for traveling. If you travel 15 or more miles round trip, you're going to get a gas card. We're going to mail it out to you as, again, just a thank you. You know, those of you who are 15 miles or less, well, it was your backyard, so that's your, I guess, your thank you. So, but again, there's a sheet on your table. Please fill it out. There'll be just one per unit, but again, it won't cover your entire gas bill, but at least it's something. So, okay. A couple other items. Take out your packets. There's some information in there. We're just going to kind of briefly go through what is in your packet. First off, there is a sheet that says unit popcorn kernel contact information. If you are not the popcorn, is there anybody here that's representing your unit, but you are not the popcorn kernel? Okay, you need to take this sheet back, have your popcorn kernel complete it, and then you need to mail or email or fax it in, and I'll tell you where to do that here in a bit. But otherwise, for the rest of you, if you are the kernel, please make any changes to this and turn it in. Be sure you put a physical address as well as if you have a PO box, because some of the stuff has to be sent to a physical address and not to a PO box. It says unit popcorn kernel contact information. Packet? Okay, we'll get in the packet. Oh, okay. Okay, there's some blank ones out there. We'll just there's a blank one. We'll say a blank one. The next piece that's in there is it should say leader, username, and password. Now, we're going to do it differently next year because this really didn't work as like we thought it would. But anyway, you may have one of these in there. If you don't have one of these in there, it's because we didn't have anything in the system for you from last year. But otherwise, for everybody that has one of these, basically you can go online right now if you wanted to and log into the popcorn system. It may not be your email address, and that's okay because when you log in every year, it's going to ask you to please update your email address and password so you can change that information. For those of you who don't have one of these, by the 16th of this month, you will get an email that will state what your user ID and password is. It'll give you a link, you click, and then you'll be able to go online and change that if you'd like to. Also in your packets is a sample budget. This sample budget will be online in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can edit it. This is an actual unit. This isn't just a made-up budget. So this gives you kind of at least a guideline of, okay, what should a budget look like? Our unit's never done a budget. And you as the colonel shouldn't be the one expected to do the budget. I guess that's up to you as a unit. But typically that's the treasurer of the unit along with the unit committee that needs to put the budget together. Otherwise, if you don't put a budget together, you don't know how much you need to sell. So it's important to do that. There is a sheet of, I guess, kind of thank you. You can print these on mailing labels. You can customize them. Again, this will be online. So you can customize these if you want to slap a thank you note on the outside of the popcorn products. I know one scout in my district prints up these nice little sheets of paper, puts his photograph on it, and it says thank you. It says Cameron thanks you for selling popcorn this year. He signs his name on every one. It's a kind of a cool little touch. There is a receipt. One of the things that we have found in the last couple of years is that some consumers don't get their product. I have one pack in my district, or I should say, back up. I had a consumer call me and said, "Hey, I didn't eat my popcorn." And I asked him, I said, "Well, what'd you buy?" And he said, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, how much was it?" He said, "Oh, I think it was about $15, $20." I said, "Okay, well, this was probably this." And I said, "Well, who sold it to you?" He said, "Well, it was a kid, and he was in a blue uniform." And I said, "Okay, great. That narrows down about 300 kids." So that's all the information we had. We could not figure out what kid it was that sold it. I took him his product. Then his neighbor stopped me and said, "Hey, I didn't eat my product either." Still couldn't figure out who it was. So one of the things that is important, the consumer is the most important person. Okay, in the whole scheme of things, the consumer is the most important person. So these receipts are a great tool to use both for the military donation as well as it's just a reminder, because I guarantee you that probably at least a few of you here have had an experience that the consumer, you have to go back 10 times before you can actually find them home. Well, this is a great way for them to know when it's going to be delivered. Again, I had a phone call last year from somebody that said, "When's it going to be here?" Well, this was like 2 weeks before we're supposed to show up, and I told her, "Well, it's supposed to be here on such and such a date." I said, "Your scout will come around." So it shows them the date, how much they owe, and the scout can put his name. Again, this is customizable online, so if you just want to pre-fill every kid's name and give them 30 or 40 receipts, this is a great tool to use. Again, also will hopefully help reduce the consumer who says, "Hey, I don't have any money, I don't want the product." Well, you've at least given them a reminder. Those are probably few and far between, but it is important that the consumer has that. There's one that's it's kind of like a receipt, but this would be like an individual boy receipt. This is a great thing for you as a colonel to give the boy, have him fill out, or fill it out while he's right there, or the parent's right there turning the sheet. It says this is how much you ordered, and then you can have them sign it, and then when they, fill it out, and then when they get the product, they can sign it to say this is how much I got on my product. So I've had it happen before. You might not have had it happen where a kid says, "Hey, I didn't get this," and you're like, "I know I gave it to you." And this way, I've had them sign, they've counted it and got it. There's a timetable in there. You can use this to maybe make magnets, business cards if you want. Again, this will be online to customize how you want to. There is some unit masters. There's printed copies. Again, this will be online. It will be available in Excel and PDF. It's in Excel. It will automatically calculate everything for you, so you don't have to worry about adding things up. It will automatically do it for you. We try to, as much as we can, you'll see here in a bit, we try to reduce as much of the duplication of paperwork, and there were specific reasons why we had the duplication, but we tried to eliminate as much as we could. This is one of the few items that we felt like, at least this year anyway, we didn't want to eliminate yet. So it is important you fill these out, whether you do it in hard copy, whether you do it electronically, whatever works for you. But it is important to have those and to fill those out, and that is one item that's required to be submitted. And then the last, I think this is the last piece, is the actual popcorn guide. Popcorn guidebook, and I'm just going to briefly go through each page, tell you what it is. My mistake. But actually, I missed one other thing, but I'll come back to it. So what's in here is Lori's information there, so you don't forget. So her background's there. On the next page, page 3, is contacts. Your district's popcorn kernel is your primary contact. Us as staff advisors should be secondary. If they can't answer the question, we will answer. And the reason we want you to do that is because they volunteered for this role, and we want to utilize them to the fullest we can. So contact them if they can't answer the question. Their contact information is there. Their phone numbers, their email address is on the bottom. If you've not been to the Scout office before, there's a little map to show you how to get there. There's a listing of our popcorn website is there. Our Facebook page is there. We're going to update some things on Facebook throughout the sale. The popcorn submission email address, there's an email, and it's in here several times, but it's popcorn@otc-bsa.org. Anything you submit in hard or electronically, you can submit there. You can submit to that email. So if you want to submit your budgets and your calendars, submit them there. If you want to submit your masters on electronically, that's where you submit everything, and it says it several times in here. That's just an email. Lisa, who's in the back room, everybody turn and say hi, Lisa. Oh, that was pathetic. Come on, let's try again. Everybody say hi, Lisa. There we go. Lisa's our accounting specialist in our Scout office, and so Lisa's going to be the one to kind of keep track and put all this stuff together. This will, it's a, if you will, to make a long story short, it's not a checked email, so everything will go in there, it will be accumulated, but Lisa will automatically get an email every time something comes in. So don't expect to send an email to that and then have somebody respond to you, because nobody will respond to you from that account. However, what you will get is an automatic email back that says, hey, we got your stuff. And if you send, if you want to send us a question, you need to send it to your, again, district popcorn kernels. That email address is only to submit paperwork, essentially. That's really all it's for. Go ahead. Yes. Okay. Yep. So make sure you submit your budget and your calendar. The mailing address and the fax number in there. We'll talk about those a little bit later. Key sale dates are in there. Distribution locations. Let's see. I don't know if there's. Well, if you come pick up your stuff in Kearney, we do tentatively know the location. We just have to go visit the facility, which we can't visit until the middle of September, but we will update this online and send out communications to remind you of where to pick up your popcorn. We also have you indicate on your unit kernel contact information of where you want to pick your popcorn up, so we make sure we get it to the right location. There's a position description in here, so if you volunteer to be the popcorn kernel and they said, hey, you just have to take care of the sale, and that's all they told you, they lied to you. There's more to it than that. So there's a position description in there, tells you what you need, what to do, talks about the incentive program, 28% for 28% is the starting level. That's up 2%. Last year's 26. This year's 28%. So every unit is guaranteed 28%. 2% by having an increased sale. 2% by submitting your budget and calendar, and then 3% by not taking prizes. However, if you don't take prizes, actually you still qualify for some prizes. You still qualify for the patch. You still qualify for the dart blaster. You still qualify for the $1,500 bonus prize, the Nebraska Danger, and the Nebraska Husker Experiences. So keep that in mind. You will still need to submit a prize order regardless of whether you take prizes or not, but you will have the option to indicate no prizes. There's just some general information in there about return policies. You know, what if we accidentally order too much? What if we under-order? It explains it in here what to do. If you under-order, that's probably one I would say, I don't know if we ever have anybody over-order. Usually it's under-order. You may have a kid that suddenly comes in last minute and says, hey, I forgot one of my sheets. Okay, well, if we haven't submitted the popcorn order to Trails End, we'll definitely get it in, and we'll definitely get it with the rest of the popcorn. If it's 2 weeks later and popcorn's here, we've already ordered it, we will still take care of fulfilling your order, but it's going to be delayed, and you probably won't make the same commission because we have to ship it separately. It costs us more. So just realize that. But it is important to go ahead and submit those orders anyway. But again, if you don't get an order from a kid, call the parents. Say, hey, did your son sell any popcorn? Don't just assume that they didn't because they didn't turn one in. Let's see. There's a frequently asked questions section, and we'll add some more. We've had some great questions at the last two popcorn orientations that really we couldn't answer. So there again is some great information that'll be online. Talks more about popcorn prizes, Nebraska Husker Experience, and Danger. One thing I kind of wanted to point out, and I thought it was interesting. So on page, sorry, I have to tell you what page I'm on. I'm on page 8. Halfway down it says bonus prize packages. So let's just say you have a kid that sells $2,500 or more. So what does that mean he gets? Well, number one, he gets one prize. That's all they get is one prize. No matter what level they sell at, they get one prize, and they can have a prize at or below that level. So if you have a kid that sells, a boatload and he says, hey, I don't want that prize. I'd rather have a prize at $500. Okay, that's fine. He still gets one prize. But he gets a prize. He gets a $50 bonus gift card for selling $1,500 more. Nebraska Husker Experience for selling $1,500. Nebraska Danger Experience for $1,000. The foam dart gun for $600, and the popcorn patch. So they get all those things for selling $2,500.
They still get the bonus prizes?
What?
They still get the bonus prizes?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody gets the bonus prize. It doesn't matter whether you're taking prizes or not. Everybody gets the bonus prizes. So again, that just kind of outlines some of the kind of key packages, if you will, if you sell at certain levels. Sorry, mine's backwards. Information on the college scholarship is in there. Again, it's important to report your sales. And in fact, I'm going to just switch gears for a second. In your packet, you have a sheet that talks about the enrollment form. It's the college scholarship enrollment form. So if you have a kid that sells $2,500 or more this year or any year previous, you need to fill this out. On the backside is a payout form. That would be particularly for you Boy Scouts, would only be for you Boy Scout troops that have boys that are like 17, 18 years old. They're getting ready to go to college maybe next year. You need to give them a copy of this. We will make sure to inform you online of which kids have previously sold to reach that college scholarship, so you know to tell, hey, John's in our troop. He better write in for his money. So again, that information is in there, and then there's some information in there about the terms and conditions of the college scholarship. It's a little more involved in terms of getting the money than it used to be. It used to be just submitting it to Trails End, and they essentially gave the college the money. Now they have to write an essay, have a letter of recommendation, things like that. It's just because essentially, long story short, it's government rules that require them to make that change. Information on popcorn for our troops. Information on high adventure gear, how to log into the system. We'll talk about that in detail in a bit. Talks about the best ways to sell, and then the last page is just a unit program planner. So is there anything in the packet that I missed? I went through everything really fast, but I know you can all read. Yes? Okay, actually, yes and no. On your unit master, on the very last column, it says prizes ordered. So what you do is when you're calculating the boys' sale, you're going to find out how much they sold online, add that to how much they sold door to door, and then that will tell you what prize they get. Now, unlike with Trails End, they used to have codes associated with every prize. High Adventure Gear does not have a coding system. So you're going to say $50 gift card or whatever. You're just going to this is more for your reference. Then when you go online to order your prizes, you're going to say, I need 3 of these and 6 of these and 7 of these and 5 of these. And that's basically how it will work. Yep, it's online. So you still I would write down. You're gonna have to ask the boy, either ask him to have them write on their sheet what prize they won. So you're gonna have to write it down somewhere. So this is a great place to write it down. Other questions so far? Okay, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna move quickly through. We're gonna talk about the actual nuts and bolts of doing the sale online. Okay. So we're going to talk about the online popcorn system. So again, if you have a laptop, smartphone, tablet here, and you want to look at some of this, you can look at it online while we're talking. The popcorn system is actually very simple and easy to use if you don't let it get complicated for you. Again, you have your user ID and password. You can go on now and log in. Otherwise, if you don't have one, we'll definitely get you one. You're going to have a home page. You're going to click on orders. I'm going to show you some screenshots here in a second. You're going to basically follow the same sort of process when you order your prizes, though there is a separate website for prizes. You'll receive confirmation once you submit your order. The system does allow for more functionality. So for those of you who are like, I'm really tech savvy and I really get into the whole web thing, you can actually go in and you can put in every kid's name, you can indicate how much they've sold of each product, and it will automatically calculate everything for you. So if you want to get more involved in that, you certainly can do that, but it's not necessary. So this is what essentially the login screen is going to look like. So for those of you who have your web-connected devices with you, you go to trails-n.com in the upper right-hand corner. I'll show you a screen of it later. There'll be a link. It says Scouts Leaders Council. All three of those take you to the exact same place, so it doesn't matter which one you click. Then you're going to click in the middle of the screen. It's going to say, take me to the popcorn system, and then this is what you're going to see. So you type in your username and password. Again, you'll get one by September 16th. You don't have one. Once you log in, this is essentially what your screen is going to look like. Yeah, there we go. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, it says Orders. Okay, so that's what you click on to actually order your popcorn. So you click on Orders, and then it will show you this screen. This will pop up, and then you're going to want to click Unit Order for Take Order. I don't think you can see any of the other pieces there. Unit Order for Take Order. And okay, let me ask you a question. How many of you are popcorn kernel for multiple units? So you might do a pack and a troop. Okay, you are the kernel, or is Heidi going to do it? Okay, that's fine. I just mean you can help her. That's fine. I'm just saying, is anybody the actual kernel when you're actually going to the pack and troop? One of you? Okay. With units that are multiple, that are with kernels for multiple units, you can actually only log into one unit to initially to start, and then I have to go in and then indicate that you're also a kernel for another unit. So we'll take care of that. Really, there's not a whole lot different that you're going to see, except you'll see a screen that'll say, do you want to enter popcorn for 25231, or are you going to enter popcorn for pack 231? And then we'll take you to the screen, and you'll log out, log back in, and you'll see it. So, okay, so placing your orders, you're going to see this screen here. Again, ours will look a little bit different. What you'll get is you'll get two columns. One will be like this, it'll say cases. The next column will say containers. If you want to make your lives easy and don't want to do a lot of math, just put everything in the containers column. Okay, you can, if you really want to go and figure out, say, okay, there's 8 pretzels to a case, and we've done 500 cases or 500 containers. And if you want to do all the math, go for it. Otherwise, if you just put everything in the containers column, it will automatically calculate cases and containers, and you don't have to do any of the math. So that's what I would suggest to do. And again, you just go down the list. Everything is will be in the same exact order as it is on the unit master, as it is on the voice sheet. So you can just go right down the list and put everything in. And again, this is what you're going to see. So once you go to, I don't know why these are in this order, but you go to trails-n.com. You're going to click on, like I said, Scouts Leaders Council, and then this is what you're going to see. This is the popcorn system. This one right here. This is the one we were just looking at. This one is for the actual online, that you actually it's ordered online. And this is how you check online sales. Or you stop me if I get too far into this. So this is how, if you want to, I guess, what I'm going to show you now is how you check your voice's online sales. Okay. So number one, you get to this screen. You can click on Sign In or Register. You can use you can use your same email address and password, whatever you want to use. You have to create an account. It's going to ask you for a validation code. Everybody's validation code is exactly the same. It is popcorn. So I suggest going to this in the next 2-3 weeks, sometime before your sale starts. Go ahead and do this, and then you can go in every day or once a week, whenever. You can see which scouts have set up accounts and which have not. You can maybe take your laptop to your kickoff to help them set them up if they need help. Then, as far as seeing what they actually ordered, what kids sold what, you're going to get this screen. So when you log in, this is the screen you're going to see. Because this particular unit has no orders, and nobody has any orders, I couldn't actually show you what the orders look like. But anyway, you can either click on orders or you can click on my unit. Either one will basically take you to similar type information. You're going to be able to just essentially look down, and you're going to see John sold $50, Steve sold $25, or whatever. It'll lay that all out for you.
So the forms that you need to submit this year, as we were talking earlier, you don't need to submit all the ones that we've had you do in the years past. So what we need, well, first of all, we need your budget and calendar for your 2%. And then, if any of you have scholarship enrollments to fill out, it's probably best that you mail them into the scout office, because we had an episode this last year where the program was too large, and so it didn't go into the council office, and so it took quite a while for us to figure it out, and once got it figured out, it's taken care of. And then when you do the scholarship, you need a copy of each one of the boys' sales sheet to prove that, like proof of your $2,500 sales. And then your unit master.
And again, also you can include the online sales report from Trails End. If they sold anything online, you might just include it no matter what, and that way we know you've checked it. And again, if you had a kid that sold $2,500 in the previous year but didn't this year, which is okay, you still need to submit all that same paperwork. Okay, we have to sign it, and then we send it on to Trails End, and then that individual will get a quarterly statement saying how much is in their account, and we'll verify to make sure everyone that we submitted that they have on file. So again, make sure you submit all those things. And as far as the unit masters, whatever form, if you're going to send it in electronically, you can send it in as an Excel spreadsheet, or PDF, or even a picture. We can pretty much accept about any file.
And we're asking that you not fax them in, because the faxes is hard to read, and so if you can't send them in by the electronically, mail them into the council office. The address is here on your sheet, Overland Trails, PO Box 1361, Grenada, Nebraska. Or you can drop it off at the office.
I was going to say, too, on the fax, part of the reason that we encourage you not to do it is because you're going to spend an hour sitting there getting a busy signal. So I really encourage you to avoid that if at all possible, just because, again, you're going to get frustrated. So it's better to mail it, email it, physically drop it off if at all possible. But worst case scenario, fax it in. But use that as the last resort.
So make sure your name and your numbers and stuff are on there. So
in past years, we've had to electronically submit and online copy. Do we still have to do that?
Just the only thing you have to submit online, you're going to submit your popcorn order and your prize order. The only thing you have to submit or in hard copy of some kind, or electronically, whichever way you want, is the budget and calendar, the scholarship form, and then the unit master. So those are the only three things you have to submit outside of that. So, and again, you have the ability, if you so choose, to not actually submit anything in hard copy. So you can actually electronically, one way or the other, do everything.
Okay, so over here on the table is the prizes that we went with, and that was kind of something that we discussed in our popcorn summit. It's with the higher adventure gear. You will not be able to log in until after we get all the trainings done, and once we get email addresses and stuff, and then we'll send out a password and confirmation.
High Adventure Gear is going to have us give them an Excel spreadsheet with all your contact information. They will upload it to their system, and then you will automatically get a link to go online and to enter your information. And we have to wait until we get we're down to, I think now, 20 units that still don't have popcorn kernel information for. So as soon as we get everybody's, I'm hoping at the very latest by the end of the month. But there's nothing you can do online anyway until the sale is over. So, but as soon as we get those, we'll get those out. And then if you don't receive anything, I'd say if you don't receive something by at least mid-October, I definitely would be talking to your district popcorn kernel and say I didn't get it. Anytime you do anything electronically, there's a million zillion things that can go wrong. You go in your spam folder, it could get bounced, whatever. So again, I would say if you don't have that, or your popcorn login information by mid-October, I would definitely be on the phone with your district colonel saying, hey, I didn't get my information. We'll make sure we get it to you. But again, you should receive an automatic email from High Adventure Gear to be able to log into their system.
And so when you guys go to put your information into the High Adventure, it will be, you guys will send it in, and then we have to confirm that that's what you ordered, to make sure that if you have 14 boys in your troop or your unit, that you're ordering 14 prizes and not 16. So once that is confirmed by us, then expect the prizes 2 weeks, close to 2 weeks after that to receive your, and then for you to receive the prizes, you have to have a street address to have them delivered. They will not deliver them to a P.O. box.
And so what you'll get when you log in is a confirmation screen to confirm all your contact information. So make sure that you check that, make sure it's all correct. And again, you click on order and order prizes. So just like popcorn, order popcorn, order prizes. And then sorry, I jumped in.
So after you get your email, your confirmation and stuff, confirm everything, look it over, make sure that your address, your shipping, things like that are correct so that it is shipped to you. Once that is there, you can update your password and contact information so that it's kind of like your popcorn. You can go in and change your password afterwards. Basically, just with the High Adventure, once you get your confirmation from them, confirm everything, enter your prizes at the end.
So it's pretty straightforward in terms of once you get into the system. You'll get a confirmation confirming everything. And as Lori said, we have to approve everything. And so if you make a mistake, whether it's on your order, whether it's on your prize thing, contact the council office directly, or that's probably actually the best way to do it if you need to make a change. Once you submit your popcorn order or your prize order, you won't be able to change that order except through the council office. But if you say, hey, we got another scout suddenly turned in his popcorn sheet and we didn't realize it, you can place another order, or you can just contact us and we'll update it. But again, you can't change the order once you've submitted it on your end. But again, you'll get a confirmation email of the prizes. As Lori said, after two weeks after we approve them, then you'll get your prizes. So that could be anywhere from 3 to probably 3.5 weeks, depending on how quickly we get that done. For those of you who are not taking prizes, they're still working on exactly how this is going to work. But what I've basically been told is there will be a way for you to indicate either with a button or something on there to say no prizes. But again, once we'll keep you informed of those kinds of things as we go forward. But it should be pretty straightforward once you get into the system. But you will need to, again, make sure you indicate for those who are not taking prizes how many patches you want, how many dart blasters you want, all those types of things. And you will get 1 dart blaster today, and then once you submit your order, so if you submit, you say you need 6 dart blasters, we're going to give you 5 because you've already got 1. You can do with it what you want. You give it to the first kid that sells $600. You have the kids that don't sell for $600, and I guess it's for you to do whatever you want with it. But then that will be available to you. I forget one more screen. Okay, so a couple things, and I'm sure there's something else. I guess, what questions do you guys have? Yes, go ahead, question.
Scout bucks, gift cards, a little something in there that you could order through the High Adventure.
Yes. Oh, yes. One of the prizes you can order this year is kind of what they call Scout Bucks. Essentially, what it is a gift card that you can use to purchase. So the If you want to see like all the products that Scouting has available to you, the best website to go to is scoutstuff.org. But what you'll do is you'll get a gift card, and if your son sees a pocket knife on there that he wants, contact the council office and say, hey, my son he wants this particular pocket knife. They'll order it for you, and you'll be able to use that gift card, just like you would use it in any store, like a Walmart or anything like that. So you can use those for anything basically that Scouting sells. You can use it for uniform, you can use it for sleeping bags, tents, whatever it is you want to use it for.
So you can use it at the Scout office?
Yes, yep. And the one thing I want to tell you all is, again, scoutstuff.org is the national website where you can see everything that Scouting has available. I want to encourage you to purchase them through the council office for two reasons. One is that you're actually going to save money by doing that, because you're going to pay handling charges when you buy anything online, where we don't charge any handling charges in the office. The other thing the advantage is you're going to pay the same price no matter what, but if you buy it online, the council gets 3% commission. If you buy it from us, I think it's like 30 or 35 or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. So you're going to pay the same amount, it's just you're going to send more to the national office and less to the council. So I would encourage you, if you see something you want, get it through the council office. Plus you can actually talk to somebody. So, but that's good. Yes, what? Oh yes, and Gold Star units. If you're a Gold Star unit, because of Friends of Scouting, then you can save some dollars off of whatever it is you're going to get too. So that's another advantage. Other questions? No questions, no questions. Okay, so kind of here's what we need you to do before you leave today. Number one, fill out the unit colonel contact information sheets you have. Make sure to turn them in. We're going to have a turn-in sheet out on the table when you leave. You can turn those in out there. If there's some information on there, like for example, if your unit hasn't set a kickoff date or you haven't set a goal yet, that's okay. We'll follow up with you and get that information. But still fill it out. Number two, on that scholarship page, it should still be going around. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you fill in the unit type and number for those boys that you know. Fill out the driving sheet. Again, if you drove over 15 miles round trip, we'll get you your gas card in the mail, hopefully in the next few weeks. Fill out the popcorn committee sheet. So for some of you that have committees of popcorn and you want them to receive emails that we send out, which by the way, at minimum you'll start getting probably at least one email every week, just giving you some updates. Then we're going to have you stop over here and pick up a sample popcorn kit. Each kit you're going to get a buffalo cheddar, you're going to get a drizzle, you're going to get a sour cream and onion, bacon ranch, one in each of the microwaves, and then you can take one of those dart blasters. If you have 40 kids or less in your unit, you take one set. If you have 41 or more, take 2 sets. Now, if you're right on the cusp, you're like, we're 38 kids and we're doing Cub Scout recruitment and we think we're going to be over, then take 2 kids. You're getting these as an on-your-honor system. So I don't want to hear about any popcorn kernel sitting in their home and eating all of this by themselves. This is for your boys to taste. Then if there's anything left, the adults can have some. But this is for the boys so that they can be able to understand what these products are and how to sell them. The one thing to keep in mind is the drizzle. Unfortunately, we just can't buy enough for every unit to have enough for every single kid. So again, you're going to get one of each. But the drizzles, you need to make sure that you don't leave that in your car because it will melt and then it'll just be a big blob and then it won't be any fun to eat. So be sure to keep that in mind. You'll take those kits and pick up a dart blaster. If you need any extra materials, they'll be out on the table. So if you need some extra popcorn sheets, if you need some more unit masters, whatever it is you need, they'll be out there. And then make sure those yellow sheets that you were given at check-in, if you didn't get one, pick one up. We're going to give away all those prizes here in a couple of weeks. So be sure to fill that out. You can win some prizes. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. One thing I'm worried about is running out of the onion tins. So I would say those of you who are not from either Grand Island or Hastings, if you could come up first, and then everybody else. I originally thought these weren't going to come in tins, and they came in tins, and so there was less than we had actually ordered, than I thought we were getting. So we may have to order some more, and I promise we're going to get them right away. But be sure to, I guess I just asked those that are in Grand Island Hastings, since we get them to you a little quicker. If you guys can wait till last to get yours, and then we'll make sure we get those to you.
Did everybody get a yellow sheet?
So I'm going to leave this up here. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. The last thing is this presentation was recorded today. We're going to put this online unedited. So if you want to go back in and look at it at any time, you can. And again, be sure to check out. 2 seconds here. I promise this will be the last thing, and I'm going to be quiet so you can go. This is the this is the Trails Ends, or excuse me, not Trails End, Overland Trails Council's popcorn page, and you may not be able to read all the words that are up there, but it's just otc-bsa.org/popcorn. We're going to put a lot of the resources online. There'll be more coming in the next couple of weeks, but there's lots of things up there on goal setting, contacts, forms. If you're ever unsure about what to submit to the Overland Trails Council, there's a link right there that says submit forms to the Overland Trails Council. So again, thank you all for coming. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know.